Hello everyone and Assalamu alaikum. Today I will discuss to you the open channel flow and the uniform flow. So first is itong open channel flow. Open channel flow is the type of conduit that conveys or transport usually water. So this open channel, yung upper surface nito is in contact siya with atmosphere. And yung fluid that is being transported or conveyed is hindi siya mag-flow if no contact sa atmosphere. The open channel is not caused by an external head. Unlike ito siya sa mga fluid flow sa pipe na hindi mag-flow kapag wala tayong binibigay na external pressure sa system. Halimbawa nito is yung mga tangke ng tubig, hindi siya mag-flow kapag wala tayong binigay na pressure sa system nito. And also, open channel flow is mainly caused by gravity and slope of the channel run. So, yung flow ng tubig doon sa open channel natin is caused by gravity and slope. Usually, yung mga river na nakikita natin and yung mga irrigation. So, in order for us to understand this open channel flow, I will give you an example para mas ma-understand pa natin yung open channel flow. So, example nito is yung rectangular open channel natin. Halimbawa, ito. Usually, yung mga ganito na type is yung sa mga irrigation. If you are familiar with that, syempre alam niyo naman yun. And, yan. So, di ba, makikita natin na itong channel natin na ito is exposed siya sa atmosphere. So, sa cross-section natin, di ba, dito na part sa upper side ng flowing liquid natin dito is mapapansin natin na open siya and it is exposed sa atmosphere. So basically, ito ang requirement kapag open channel ang i-consider natin. So sa longitudinal section naman, yung longitudinal section natin, ibig sabihin dito yan siya. So sa, di ba yung sabi ko kanina, dapat yung canal bed o yung open channel natin is somewhat pa-slope yan siya. And makukonsider din siya na open channel if yung conduit is somewhat slow para ma-furnish yung kanyang flow. So, yung elevation natin between the endpoint dito is denoted as the delta Y. So, para ma-understand nyo is meron din tayong example problem mamaya. And now, let's jump into the types of open channel. So, first is natural stream. From its word natural, ito yung mga natural na kung saan dumadaloy ang tubig. Basically, these are water bodies. Ang example nito is yung river. Second naman is artificial. From the word artificial, di ba, it is modified by human. Hindi siya mabubuo kung hindi siya without the hand of the human. Or kung hindi ito siya man-made. Ang example lamang nito is yung irrigation. It is the man-made process na ginagamitan ng artificial system to water crops. So, yun yung basic example nitong artificial natin. Ang next naman ito is yung sewers, tunnel, and pipelines. So, pag sinabi natin sewers, ito yung mga underground conduit for carrying of drainage water and waste matter. And ito is nakakatulong ito siya sa pag-iwas din ng baha kasi 'di ba yung sa pag umuulan ng malakas is kapag meron tayong drainage is doon direct nahuhulog yung tubig natin. So malaking tulong din talaga siya para makaiwas ng baha. So ngayon naman is itong open channel can be in various types of cross-sectional shape. So sabi niya, meron tayong iba't ibang shape ng open channel natin. Ang first dito is yung rectangular. So, sa rectangular na ito, same with the trapezoidal, is open ang open part nito. And also, yung triangular natin dito is open din yung kanyang upper part. Unlike naman sa circular is usually ito sa mga pipes ito siya, makukonsider din natin ito siya, but then kailangan meron siyang air space. Kailangan meron ditong air space para dumaloy yung tubig. And just make sure na meron din tayong air supply. And also dito sa circular is pwedeng maging full yung flow ng water as long as may ventilation system sa pipe system natin. So parang maglalagay tayo ng ventilation para makapasok yung ang next naman is yung semi-circular. ang upper portion ng semicircular na ito is open and exposed naman siya sa atmosphere. Next is yung ellipsoidal. So pag sinabi nating ellipsoidal, same siya sa semicircular, pero yung shape lang naman nito is unlike sa circle, shape nito is unlike sa circle. And kasi what I mean na same sila sa semicircle is open din yung kanyang upper part and it is exposed sa atmosphere. So, yung ito is unlike siya sa shape ng circle na it is an half ellipse and pwede din siyang tawagin na parabolic. So, ang last na sectional shape ng ating open channel is yung irregular. Ibig sabihin lamang nito is, halimbawa nito is yung mga river natin, that is the last sectional shape of the open channel. Yun naman ay ang uniform steady flow and total energy in an open channel. So, meron tayong steady flow and uniform flow. So, pag sinabi nating steady flow, it is a flow in a stream at any cross-section and it will remain the same at any given point of a time. So, ibig sabihin lamang nito, yung any cross-section is mag-remain the same at given point of time. And the uniform flow naman natin is yung velocity of flow in a stream does not change over time. So, yung velocity daw ng stream is hindi siya mag-change. So, sa steady flow natin is, halimbawa nito, meron tayong channel. Halimbawa, meron tayong bed channel, which is dapat pa-slope yan siya, di ba? And meron naman tayong flow of liquid. Ito yung flow of liquid natin. And yung channel bed natin is dapat pa-slope. Channel bed is pa-slope. And then, yung run of an open channel naman natin, yung, ibig sabihin, yung dito is denoted as L yan siya. Yung run of an open channel natin. So, yung, di ba, yung open channel natin is may starting point and may end point yan siya. So, yung end point natin is denoted as the delta Y. Gaya nga rin nung sabi ko kanina. So, since diba may starting point and may starting point and may end point tayo dito, and then yung depth of the fluid natin is denoted as D. And since diba from start to end, we can denote that as D sub 1 and D sub 2. And since diba, ito naman is, ito yung flowing liquid natin. So, for presentation, gaya nga nung sabi ko, i-isolate natin yung flow from start and end. And syempre, yung mga energy that are being acted upon the particular section ay represented ng mga hydraulic energy that can be involved in an hydraulic system. So, dalawa ang pwede nating makonsider dito. Diba? Dalawa ang pwedeng makonsider na energy head that is being caused by the depth of the flowing fluid. So, diba dito from start to end natin. And that is denoted as the P over gamma. And i-consider din natin yung velocity since flowing yung fluid natin. That is denoted as the V, di ba from start is V sub 1 squared over 2G, and then dito naman is V sub 2 squared over 2G. So, para kung hindi nyo pa mas naintindihan is mag-ask lang kayo. And from the stream bed, the total energy head is determined by its specific energy, that is the ES is equal to H is equal to V squared over 2G plus P over delta. So, sa uniform steady flow naman natin is, halimbawa, meron tayong, gaya rin nung kanina, halimbawa is, meron tayong slope na bedrock and meron tayong depth of the flow, and that is denoted as the yung depth of the flow natin, that is denoted as the D1 sa start and D2 naman sa end niya. So, 'di ba, sabi ko nga, dapat pa-slope pa rin yung channel. So, dito naman is, ito yung depth of the flowing liquid natin and yung width naman nung flowing liquid natin, and that is denoted as the B sub 1, and dito naman is yung B sub 2 natin. So, dapat magkaroon ng drop from start to finish yung elevation natin dito. And yung total energy is above the liquid surface. The representation of the grad line is also a slope line from starting point up to the end point. The difference in the elevation between the energy grad line from the start to end point is the representation of the head loss. So, ang ibig sabihin lamang nito is, diba, sabi niya ito, is yung head loss is yan daw yung difference ng elevation between the energy grad line from start to end point. So, HL. Ibig sabihin is ito yung head loss. Now is from continuity equation, yung relation of flow rate naman. And, di ba, yung sa flow of the rate sub 1 is dapat equal siya sa flow of rate sa sub 2 natin. And mag-remain constant yung flow rate from point 1 to point 2 by constructing the formula, that is A sub 1 times V sub 1 is equal to A sub 2 times V sub 2. So, dapat constant pa rin yung flow rate. And the depth is in terms of D, and yung width of the flow is in terms of the B. Then, we can construct the formula as B sub 1 times D sub 1 times V sub 1 is equal to B sub 2 times D sub 2 times V sub 2. So, yung depth, di ba, yung depth is in terms of D, and yung width is in terms of yung depth is in terms of D, and yung width is in terms of B, and then yung velocity is in terms of B siya. So, ano nga ba yung required dito? Ang required if uniform steady flow is, meron naman tayong, ang required dito is kapag steady daw yung uniform flow. So, meron tayong conditions dito. First is the cross-sectional area at point 1 should be equal to the cross-sectional area at point 2. So, ibig sabihin lamang nito is yung cross-sectional area at point 1 is equal siya sa cross-sectional area at point 2. If mag-change kasi yung cross-sectional area either sa point A and point 1 and point 2 is mag-change din ang kanyang velocity. And with that, dapat hindi magbago ang cross-sectional area at any section. So, pangalawa naman na condition dito is related to the cross-sectional area in the depth of the flow. So, di ba, yung depth is denoted as D sub D, and dapat daw equal yung D sub 1 natin sa D sub 2 natin. So, if magbago ang depth of flow, then it is also possible na mabago din ang cross-sectional area ng flow natin. Yung pang-third naman na dapat din natin i-consider is yung velocity sub 1 is equal to velocity sub 2. So, dapat equal din ito siya kasi if magbago ito, then posible din na magbago rin yung ano yung mababago. Kapag magbago itong area and the depth of the flowing water or the flowing liquid, is magbabago yung velocity niya. So, yung pang fourth natin dito is kailangan natin din i-consider yung conditions sa slope. So, pag hindi ito siya magbago, dapat hindi rin magbago yung slope natin. So, dapat yung S is equal to S sub O. And diba, always remember na yung slope natin is equal to the head loss over the L, yung running water natin. And dito, natapos na natin yung conditions. Ngayon naman is sa formulas naman tayo. So, sa formulas na ito, meron ding properties to consider. Una dyan, properties to consider. Unang-una dyan is yung roughness coefficient natin. Roughness coefficient natin. Every type of channel has its distinct roughness coefficient denoted as N. So, yung roughness coefficient daw natin is denoted as 10. And may iba't ibang value itong coefficient na ito, depende siya sa type ng material ng open channel natin. Second naman dito is yung hydraulic radius or yung hydraulic mean depth. Hydraulic mean depth natin. So, property used in computing open channel flow velocity. Ang hydraulic radius or hydraulic mean depth na ito yung ginagamit natin in computing the open channel flow velocity. And representation of cross-sectional area, the flowing liquid is an open channel. So, the ratio between the flow area, cross-sectional, and the weather parameter. So, ang weather parameter na ito is denoted as PW lang yan siya. And dito is hahanapin natin yung hydraulic radius which is equal to A over yung PW natin. So yung area is length times width. So di ba yung length is denoted as D and then yung width naman is denoted as B. So yung PW natin dito is yan yung weighted perimeter. So if we want to know kung ano ba ang gagamitin natin for hydraulic radius, kailangan natin ma-determine yung cross-sectional area of flow and weighted perimeter. So, i-consider mo lang yung i-consider mo lang yung depth of flow, yung dito, yung depth of flow, and yung width ng channel natin. Yung width ng channel natin. So, ang ginamit niya dito sa weighted flow na ito is kapag magka-calculate tayo, ang i-consider lang natin is yung dito kasi ito lang yung nabasa ng liquid natin. So, sa paghanap ng weighted perimeter natin is equal to 2D plus B. Saan natin nakuha yung 2D? Ito siya, yung dalawang side ng depth and then yung width ng ating channel. So, gaya nga nung sabi ko, sa paghahanap ng weighted parameter na ito is, i-consider lang natin is yung kung ano lang yung nabasa. So since open yung sa ibabaw, hindi na natin i-consider yung width sa upper portion niya doon sa parameter. So yung ginamin doon is yung dito. Kasi since open naman siya, so hindi na natin i-consider yung upper portion niya. If sa circle naman, let's say, mayroong open space sa circle natin dito, then ibig sabihin lang noon is hindi siya flowing full. And ang i-compute lang natin for area is yung shaded part niya, yung dito lang. Sa slope naman, yung sa slope is S is the ratio between HL and the channel run. Ang S is equal to HL, head loss, over the channel run. And yung S sub O naman natin is denoted as the delta Y over L. Note, ang uniform flow daw natin is S is equal to S sub 2 and the non-uniform flow daw siya is S is not equal to S sub O. So, dito sa pagkuha naman ng channel flow velocity natin, from Chezy formula, it is derived from Darcy-Weisbach equation. Medyo mahaba-haba ito siya. So, sabi niya, HF is equal to FL over D, V squared over 2G. So, di ba yung velocity yung kukunin natin? So, we can manipulate this formula. Ang mangyayari is V squared over 2G D HF over F FL. So, di ba sabi ko sa inyo kanina, yung sa slope natin is, di ba, ito yan siya. So, to make this formula short, para ma-minimize natin siya, ang gagawin natin is, yung S is equal to HF is equal to L, then papalitan lang natin to siya ng S. So, pag napalitan na natin siya, ang mangyayari naman dito is, i-eliminate naman natin yung, ano, ang mangyayari pala dito since, usually yung open channel is, hindi siya, di ba, hindi siya circle. So, if circular siya, hahanapin natin yung hydraulic radius, that is A over P. Ang P dito is ito yung weighted perimeter natin. So, para sa area natin, that is pi d squared over d over 4 over pi d. So, since pareho lang itong pi is ka-cross out natin, and then yung d naman dito, ang mangyayari lang dito is matitira lang dito is yung isa na d. So, ang mangyayari, r is equal to d over 4. So, since, di ba yung diameter is d is equal to 4 over r. So, ang mangyayari dito sa formula natin na ito is velocity squared is equal to 2g for rs. And to eliminate the squared here, kailangan natin i-multiply both side by 1/2. Multiply natin siya both by 1/2. And ang mangyayari na dyan is that ang mangyayari is v is equal to square root of fg over f quantity square root of r s. So, over f pala dito. Sorry. So, itong 2G4RS na ito is nagre-represent siya as the bottom roughness. So, paano natin nakuha ito? Paano natin nakuha ito? Since, di ba, 1/2 square root, then 4 times 2, that is at over 4, and then yung RS, 1/2 squared. So, ang mangyayari naman is, di ba, sabi ko, ito is yung bottom roughness. And yung sa pag ano naman dito, yung V naman natin is yung meron naman tayong shorter formula dito. Yung V is equal to C square root of RS. So sa pag ang C na ito is ito yung tinatawag na Chezy coefficient. So, sa paghanap ng Chezy coefficient na ito is meron din tayong iba't ibang formula in order to find this Chezy coefficient. So, mahaba-haba rin siya, and pero meron namang shortcut. So, kung saan kayo comfortable na formula, doon na lang kayo mag-stick. And since yung sa paghahanap naman ng flow rate naman is equal to AV. So, AV is equal din siya sa Q is equal to AC square root of RS. Pero usually, pag nahanap niyo yung area and the velocity is makukuha niyo na yung flow rate. So, basically, ito lang din yung nagagamit na formula. So, pag gusto nyo is, pwede rin naman, ganito yung gamitin nyo, pero mas prefer yung ganito kasi na-short na rin yung formula natin. So, yung C dito is nag-represent siya as Chezy coefficient. Yung R naman is hydraulic radius. And yung S naman dito is ito yung slope natin. So, yung sa hydraulic radius pala natin is, ito siya? Meter siya or feet. Meter siya or feet siya. And yung sa slope naman natin is unitless ito siya. Walang unit. Same as the Chezy coefficient natin na unitless. Unitless ito siya. And yung channel rate naman natin, yung flow rate naman natin is meter cube over second or feet cube over second lang siya. So, ito yung mga unit na dapat natin tandaan. Yung slope is unitless, same with the Chezy coefficient, and yung R natin is meter or feet, and then yung flow rate naman natin dito is meter cube over S or yung feet cube over S. So, sa next naman is i-introduce ko sa inyo yung mga formula yung mga equation in order to find the Chezy coefficient. So, ito, yung, mahaba ito siya. Pag gusto nyo i-memorize, pwede naman. And, ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na, yung pag SI unit, ito yung gagamitin natin na formula. And, ito yung sinasabi ko na shortcut in finding the Chezy coefficient. So, kung meron tayong SI unit, meron naman tayong English units. So, i-pause nyo lang kung gusto nyo mag-take note kung ano yung gagamitin natin. So, pero meron naman ding mas pinaikli na gagamitin natin in finding the Chezy coefficient. So, yun yung Manning formula. Ang Manning formula nito, for me, ito yung pinaka-short na unit na magagamit natin sa paghahanap ng Schizy formula. So, ito, C is equal to 1 over N, R raised to 1 over 6. So, sa SI unit yan siya. So, sa English unit naman is, ito lang naman yung gagamitin natin. And also, sa Bazin formula. Sa Bazin formula, same lang din, pero mas short. Di ko alam kung ano yung mas prefer nyo, pero mas better sa akin is itong Manning formula. Sa Bazin formula naman, may SI unit and English. Meron namang English unit. And sa pagkuha naman ng boundary shear stress, sa boundary shear stress naman natin, that is denoted as tau. Tau sub O. So, average tau which is acted over the weighted surface of the open channel. So, since, di ba ito, since flowing yung fluids, then syempre may resistance sa wall nung open channel natin. May mag-resist dito na shear stress. And yung shear stress natin is, that is tau sub O is equal to delta RS. So, wherein yung delta dito is yung specific weight of fluid natin, and ang unit naman na magagamit natin is Newton over meter cube or pound per feet squared. So, ito lang yung tatandaan nyo na unit in finding the shear stress. So, sa magbibigay naman ako ng example problem para mas ma-understand na rin yung concept and yung mga formulas. Number 1. So, di ba sabi niya doon is rectangular yung open channel natin with the roughness coefficient na 0.011 and with the slope of 0.005. So, ang requirements na hahanapin natin is yung velocity, yung rate flow, and then yung boundary shear stress. So, sa pagkuha natin, kailangan natin hanapin muna yung radius para makuha natin yung velocity natin. Since, di ba, yung hydraulic radius natin is that is equal to A is equal to weighted parameter. And yung A natin is base length times width. So, di ba, yung width natin is nag-represent as B, and then yung depth is yung height. Length times height. So, yung sa P naman is yung B plus 2D. Since, diba, yung width na dito and then yung dalawang side. And that is 3.5 times 2 over 3.5 plus 2 times 2. So, that is 933 meter. Tapos, ang susunod na, dahil nakuha na natin yung ating hydraulic radius, maaari na nating isosolve yung ating velocity. So, using the Chazy formula, di ba, ang formula natin dyan is V is equal to C square root of R S. So, 'di ba yung sa formula natin is sa Chazy equation, ipa-plug natin yung 1 ay ipa-plug natin naman yung value ng ating roughness coefficient which is 0.011, quantity 0.933 which is yung yung radius na nakuha natin kanina, and then is 2 over 6.1 393 meter per second. Though kung gagamit tayo ng iba, hindi yung iba kapag gumamit tayo ng gamitin natin yung ibang formula, yung dito sa C is hindi siya exact, pero magkalapit naman yung kanilang sagot. So now let's proceed to the number 2, which is yung natin, yung flow rate natin. Yung flow rate lang natin, formula is Q is equal to area times the velocity. So, di ba yung area is length times width, then B times D is equal to 3.5 times 2 ay 42.975 meter cube per second. So, ito na yung ating flow rate. Ngayon naman, mag-proceed naman tayo sa ating sa paghahanap ng boundary shear stress. 'Di ba yung boundary shear stress natin is denoted as d tau, and yung formula tau yung gamma dito is since fluid yan siya, water, and 'di ba yung constant na value ng ating water is 9.81 kilonewton over meter cube times yung nakuha natin na R, kanina yung 0.933 times 0.005. And that is kilopascal. So, i-convert natin into Pascal, 1,000 kPa. And that is, ang equivalent na ng ating tau is 45.78 Pascal. So, yun lang. Ganun lang. Is, trapezoidal naman ang ating 1 kilometer. Let's say, meron tayong channel run dito. Di ba dapat sloped siya? Meron tayong channel run. Ito yung flow of water natin. Ito yung channel bed natin. And then, sabi niya doon is, meron tayong slope na 2.5. And 2.5 per 1 kilometer. So, pag i-unite natin yung ating formula, ay yung ating units, ang mangyayari dyan is, yung channel run natin is mangyayaring 1,000 meter. So since 'di ba yung formula para doon sa slope, yung S sub O natin is equal to delta Y over L. And ang equivalent is 2.5 over yung channel run is equal to 1,000 meter, and that is equal to 1,400 meter. So, and then, 'di ba, nakuha na natin yung S sub O natin. Ngayon naman, ano naman yung requirement na hinihingi niya? Ay, meron pala akong nakalimutan, yung cross section na 1.5 horizontal and yung 2.5 horizontal. Ang ginamin lang naman din doon is yung sa yung yung dito niya, yung rise over ay yung side slope. Yun lang yung ginamin niya dito sa side slope. Ngayon, 'di ba, ang gina-require niya is yung velocity. Hinahanap niya yung velocity. And then yung flow rate. So since 'di ba sa paghanap ng ating velocity, that is equal to 1 over n r raised to 3 2 over 3 times 1 raised to 1 half. So ito 'di ba, using Manning's formula ito. And dito 'di ba kailangan pa natin hanapin yung ating radius. So sa paghanap ng ating radius, that is r is equal to a over p. And since trapezoidal din siya, yung area natin dito is b plus yung b over 2 times d. So since 'di ba yung bottom base natin is projected siya, ay project natin yung bottom base natin yung dito. Since 'di ba hindi given ito, yung maliit lang na b yung given. So 'di ba kailangan pa natin hanapin yung bottom base natin. So ang mangyayari diyan is 'di ba ipo-project natin, 'di ba hindi tayo sure kung ano yung measure dito. So ipo-project natin and i-denote natin as A muna kasi hindi pa natin alam yung kanyang kanyang measure. So ipo-project natin, ang mangyayari diyan is B is equal to 2A plus 2.5. Tama din ba yung 2.5? Yung 2.5 since 'di ba dalawang A yan siya. And with this, 'di ba yung makukuha natin yung kapag ipo-project natin siya, makukuha natin yung dito banda, yung dito niya. 'Di ba? That is yung A natin, A and then yung height, yung dito niya banda. And then yung unknown natin na Y. So meron na naman tayong unknown na isa. Ganyan. So, 'di ba yung A, yung dito, and then yung height na 3.6, and then yung Y. Then hahanapin naman din natin yung Y na yan. So, since meron naman tayong side slope, pwede natin gamitin din itong side slope natin ito. And ganun din, ipo-project din natin. So, ang mangyayari dyan is, ganyan, 1.5. And then yung height naman nito is 2. So, using the ratio and proportion, ang mangyayari dyan is, dito ko na lang. Using the ratio and proportion, H over B is equal to 1.5 over 2 is equal to A over 3.6. So, since, di ba, unknown na naman yung A natin, ang mangyayari naman dyan is, 1.5 times 3.6 over 2. Ang mangyayari is 1.5 times 3.6 over 2. And ang equivalent ng A natin is 2.7 meter. Ngayon naman, since nahanap na natin yung A natin, di ba yung dito sa B, yung sa bottom base natin is nire-require niya yung A. And since nahanap na natin, ipa-plug lang natin yung equivalent, yung result ng A natin, that is 2.7 plus 2.5. Ang result is 7.9 meter. Ngayon naman, since eto nakuha na natin yung bottom base natin, pwede na natin din yung pwede na natin yan siyang i-substitute dito sa area natin, yung dito sa area. So hanapin pala muna natin yung ating weighted parameter. Since yung weighted parameter natin is P is equal to B plus 2Y. Yung weighted parameter natin. And, di ba, meron na tayong given na, B. And then, yung, naman, 2.5 plus 2 quantity, 4.5. So, P is equal to yung before pala, sorry guys, yung isosolve natin yung y before yung weighted parameter kasi 'di ba unknown yung y natin dito. So ang mangyayari diyan is hanapin muna natin yung y, and that is 2.7 squared plus 3.6 squared is equal to 4.5. Doon pala nakuha yung 4.5. So yan, nakuha na natin yung weighted parameter and then yung value ng y. So ang weighted parameter na ito is equal to 11.5 meter. Ayan, kung magte-take note kayo guys, is much better kasi sa tingin ko, medyo magulo yung pagsusulat ko. Pero yes, kasi wala akong whiteboard marker. So, ayan na lang. And so, magpo-proceed na tayo sa ni-required na hinahanap natin, which is yung velocity. Di ba yung formula ng velocity natin is, ito. And then yung area naman is, pwede na natin isolve yung area. Pwede na tayong mag-solve ng area natin. Di ba yung value ng B natin is 7.9 meter plus yung 2.5 over 2 times 3.6. Yan yung, di ba yung depth ng natin. And that is 18.72 meter squared. Ngayon naman, nahanap na natin yung weighted parameter. Hahanapin naman natin yung radius. Nahanap na ba natin yung radius? Wala pa. Hanapin natin yung radius, which is yung area na nakuha natin is 18.72 meter per second. And then yung weighted parameter na 11.5 meter. 11.5 meter. So, isa lang na meter yung matitira. And that is 1.627 meter. Ngayon, nahanap na natin yung R and also yung S is that ang gagamitin pala natin na S guys is yung ito yung sa yung sa slope of the channel natin, ito yung gagamitin natin. And then sa pagkuha ng ating velocity ay na siya, may nahanap natin yung R, and then yung R naman, yung slope naman. And using the Manning's formula, isa-substitute lang natin yan sa lahat. 1.627 suppose times 1 over 400. That is equal to 5.320 meters per second. So, baka guys, nagtataka kayo kung bakit yun yung slope na yun ang ginamit nating formula. Kaya natin ginamit yung channel bed slope niya. Since uniform steady flow ito siya, yung S sub O pa rin para sa slope ng channel bed is equivalent din sa slope ng energy grade. Kaya kung ano yung given na channel bed slope, ay yun na rin yung gagamitin slope para sa Manning formula. So, since nakuha na natin yung velocity, ngayon naman is hanapin naman natin yung flow rate. Since, di ba, yung flow rate natin is area times velocity lang. And yung area natin is 18.72 times yung velocity natin na 5.320 meter per second squared. Meter squared per second. So, ang mayayari is, that is equivalent to 99.633 meter per cubic second. Meter cubic per second. So, ayan. Yun na yung, nakuha na natin yung velocity and then yung flow rate. Hope na naintindihan nyo guys. So ngayon, meron tayong another example in which yung ang shape ng ating channel is trapezoidal. So meron tayong given dito, ito, and then ang pinapahanap sa atin is yung hydraulic depth and yung velocity. So since hydraulic depth ang hanapin natin, first is yung formula ng ating depth, that is area over the total depth. Since yung area is length times width, yung length natin dito is yung 7.2, and yung width natin na 27 is dito natin nakuha yung 10 plus 12 plus 5 is 27. And subtracted to, yung dito yung half of, yung maliliit na triangle dito, kukunin din natin, kasi may length and width din yan siya, so isasalin natin. And since, merong binigay dito na width and length, and half of it, that is 25, same with here. Half din yung kukunin natin, and that is 12.5. And ito, saan natin ito nakuha? Dito natin yung nakuha yung 10, yung total depth natin. And pag itotal natin ito ang magiging result. Same with here, 27 feet. Ngayon naman is, the depth is equal to 5.81 feet. So, let's jump into finding the velocity. So, since yung sa velocity natin is, gagamitan natin ng Manning's formula, that is, V is equal to 1.49 over N, R raised to 2 over 3, and yung slope natin is, raised to 1/2. So since unknown yung R natin, yung hydraulic radius natin, hahanapin natin yan. So yung formula ng ating R is area over yung weighted parameter natin. And since nakuha natin yung area dito, isa-substitute lang natin. And yung weighted parameter natin is, di ba yung sa weighted parameter, ang kukunin natin is kung ano lang yung nabasa sa ating channel. So since naabot siya, kukunin natin yung length dito is 2.2 plus yung nandito na side. Plus yung nandito na side, kukunin natin. And kaya yan siya nandyan. Plus yung 12 dito, yung length, ay yung width. And yung dito naman na side, yung nandito naman na side is kukunin din natin. That is 5 squared plus 5 squared. And then yung dito rin na side, kukunin din natin. So pag itotal natin, that is 32.65 feet. So since nakuha na natin yan, isa-substitute natin dito sa formula ng ating hydraulic radius, and that is 4.528 feet. So since nahanap na natin ang ating radius, isa-substitute na rin natin dito sa ating formula. And yung n pala dito is given na yan siya dito. Also the slope here, yung s is given na rin siya dito. So isa-substitute lang natin, and ang makukuha natin is 40.6 feet per second. So yun lang. So ngayon, ang ating given problem naman is yung shape ng ating channel is rectangular. Ang pinapahanap naman sa atin dito is yung dimension niya. So ito yung given natin. And since binigay sa atin yung flow rate, magagamit natin yung formula ng flow rate, which is yung Q times velocity. So since yung sa velocity is meron tayong Manning's formula, magagamit natin yun siya. So since rectangular ito, sa isang rectangular, di ba, sabi ko, sa isang rectangular channel, the base or most efficient cross section is equivalent to twice as the depth of the channel. So that is B is equal to 2D, yung twice as the depth of the channel. And also yung hydraulic radius R natin is equivalent to 2 half yung hydraulic radius natin. So ang mangyayari, yung area natin is, di ba, area is equal to base times height, that is B times D. And yung yung formula ng Manning's natin, yung Manning's formula natin. And since yung R natin dito is equivalent to D over 2, pwede natin siya i-substitute. D over 2 over 2/3. And yung given naman yung S natin. Pwede mamaya. So, ayan. Since yung value ng ating D here is yung 2D, pwede natin yan siyang i-substitute dito para isa na lang ang magiging unknown. 2D squared. Pwede siyang maging unknown. And yung ano naman natin, copy lang ito. So since given yung flow rate natin dito, pwede natin siya i-substitute dito. 2.5 is equal to 2D squared. So now let us proceed to the other problem. Meron tayong problem which is ang hinahanap natin dito is yung kung gaano daw kalalim yung flow. So ang gagawin natin una dito is that i-draw natin yung ating open channel, or i-illustrate natin. So 'di ba yung lalim is yan yung hinahanap natin. So we can denote as Y, or pwede naman din yung D. So yung Y daw natin dito is 5M or 5 meter. Ngayon naman, since given 'di ba yung Q natin, which is Q is equal to 6.5 cubic meter, pwede natin gamitin yung formula na Q is equal to area times the velocity. Area times velocity. So, itong velocity na ito is pwede natin gamitan siya nung Manning's formula, which is V is equal to 1 over N times R raised to 2 over 3 square root of S. So, ngayon naman, hahanapin naman natin yung ating R dito. Yung R natin dito, hahanapin natin siya. So, di ba yung R natin is equal to area over yung weighted parameter natin. And yung area natin dito is yung width or length times width, that is B times Y. And yung weighted parameter naman natin is B plus 2Y. Yung Y is yung both side ng ating channel. And now naman, since nahanap natin yung value ng R is, pwede na natin yan siya pwede natin siya i-substitute dito sa R natin dito. So, ang mangyayari, Q is equal to B times Y over B plus 2Y quantity raised to 2 over 3 square root of S over N times yung area natin. Ang mangyayari pala dito guys is Q is equal to R raised to 2 over N square root of S over N times yung area natin. So, yung area natin dito, since nakuha natin yan dito, is isa-substitute natin. So, that is D times Y. Ngayon naman, di ba meron na tayong value ng, meron tayong value ng flow rate natin, yung 6.5. So, that is 6.5 is equal to, yung B natin, ito is 5 times Y, yung unknown natin, over V plus 2Y, 180 raised to 2 over 3, square root of 1 over 200 over 0.02. Ang 0.02 na ito is ito yung coefficient natin. Yan. Times yung value ng B natin is 5 times Y. So, since kapag i-calculate natin ito is complicated siya, ang mangyayari dyan is magka-trial and error tayo. If you could still remember yung sa calculus natin, yung trial and error, since Y ang hahanapin natin dyan, using the trial and error, yung Y natin is meter ang unit, and then yung Q naman natin is cubic meter per second ang unit. So, magsisimula tayo sa 0.5. 0.5, i-substitute mo yan dito, lahat dito, ang mangyayari is 1.56. So, malayo pa siya. Ngayon naman, magta-try naman tayo ng 1. So, isa-substitute mo naman yung 1 na yan dito, ang equivalent is 4.47. Ayun naman, diba malayo pa? Ngayon naman, magta-try tayo ng 1.5. And i-substitute mo ulit, is yan ang ang magiging equal. So, medyo napalayo tayo. So, ang mangyayari, yung value na hinahanap natin is somewhere between here, sa 1 and 1.5 natin. So, susubukan natin yung 1.2. 1.2, isa-substitute mo ulit, that is 5.83. So, malapit na tayo. Ngayon, tatry naman natin yung 1.3. So, 1.3 sa substitute mo, that is 6.54. So, bakit nga ba kailangan yung 6.5 ang mahanap natin dito? Kasi, di ba, yung explain ko kanina is kung ano yung dapat equal yung flow rate natin. Yung sa Q1 natin and yung sa Q2 natin is dapat equal yan siya. So, nahanap natin yung 6.5 and yung depth natin is 1.3 meter. So, yan ang depth natin. So, sana naintindihan nyo.